Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name's Emily. If you're not, thank you so much for coming back to another one of my videos. Today I've got a lot of little plants here that need to be repotted, and I've got questions from you guys about me, about what I do, my plant care, and I am going to answer them. So we are going to have a little bit of a repot and chat. Let's get into it. Okay, so I've got some things here. I wasn't going to repot this, but I think I let it sit in water for too long because I forgot about it, and now it's just, I'm afraid it has rot, so I'm going to be repotting this Hoya. And then I have my Syngonium Mojito, my Neon Heartleaf Philodendron, my Florida Ghost, and my Philodendron Tortum. So, where to start? Well, before I start, I did order some things off of Soils. So I have a box from them. All I did was just get a little bag of their soil. I got some dead bug spray. In the end, they gave me a sticker and then their thank you card. And so, figured for a couple of these, I was going to use this Soils and see how it compares with my personal potting mix. So, let's see here. Where to start? I think I'm going to start with the Neon Heartleaf here. And I just have a bucket. You can see some roots coming out of the bottom, so it is ready to be repotted. So, let's see. First question. Can you guys lay down, please? Otherwise, I'm gonna kick you out. Hi. How did you get into houseplants? Well, that is actually a funny story. So Alex used to work for a home security company, and he was doing a job where we got, we went to this, whatchamacallit, this like massage place, and they were getting an alarm system put in, and they had a golden pothos, and it was huge, and I was like, hey babe, we should get one of these. And so I got one. I got an $8 one from Walmart. It's actually the one that that sits on top of my Mills bow. And so we got one, and then like a week later I was on Etsy ordering plants off of Etsy. When I get into like new hobbies and stuff, I get very obsessive. We'll call it obsessive. And I go like full send. This is what I'm doing. I need this now, and I need all of them. As you can probably tell by my collection, I now have over 100 plants, and I started my houseplant journey in like August of last year. So I went full send and I've spent so much money, but that's beside the point. I think I'm gonna use Soul Soils for this one. Lay down. Okay, hang on. I'm gonna kick them out because they're getting in my space. Okay, so I'm gonna use Soul Soils for this one, I think. So I've just got, this is a 5-inch, I think. It wasn't a 4-inch. So yeah, we're just going up about an inch. It'll be okay. Just peeling off a couple leaves so I can stick this further down in the pot. I didn't even say what this was. So this is just their house plant chunky mix, and I have already used 80% of the bag. That is how much is left from just this one repot. But that is okay. Give it a little tappy tap. Pull these leaves out. I think what I'm gonna do is actually stick this one further down in here. Wish I had some pins, but I don't. Maybe I'll go find a bobby pin a little bit later. But now that is what she is looking like. I do have cuttings. They are just not rooted enough to go into here. So that's okay. Throw that stuff in here. So one is down. All right. Let's see. What is your favorite genus? Ooh. That's a hard one. Because I have favorites for different reasons. So I like oh, this is in my mix. I forgot it was in my mix. So I like philodendron because I like the climbing plants. What I don't like is just the amount of work that moss poles are. Just the maintenance with moss poles is a lot to keep up with, and I don't like it for that reason. But I do like philodendron. I probably have the most, I have the most alocasias and the most philodendron in my collection. So, I mean, I guess that kind of tells you what my favorites are, which is true. I love alocasias. I know a lot of people find them hard to take care of. And honestly, I have just found that Lechuza Pond has like changed alocasia care. Anthuriums are starting to like get up there with how many I have started to collect. But I don't know, it's something about alocasias. I think it's just with how easy they are to propagate. Like they do it for you. They give you babies. And so I feel like that's probably why I like alocasias so much. There is no guessing when it comes to alocasia. I mean, you can divide it through the rhizome, but it gives you babies all on its own. You are a little wonky in here. Maybe I should pot you deeper. No, you're still pretty deep. Okay, well, there is my tortum repotted. So if I had to say one, I think it's alocasias. I said it, unpopular opinion, I know. Alocasias. Let's see here. I'm gonna do the Hoya next. Gotta take my little sticky off. Alright, next question. What plant in your collection? Oh, what is one plant in your collection you can't live without? Oh man. Honestly, that one's easy. It's my Frydek. My variegated Frydek. I cannot live without my variegated Frydek. Sorry, not sorry. Those delicate roots. Okay. Since that one was so easy, we'll just go ahead and go to another one. If you were to go away on a 3-week vacation, would you ask a family member / friend, knowing well their abilities to care for your plants, or would you prepare as much as possible and then perform triage on the plants that may be in distress immediately upon your return? So that one is a little hard. So I actually live 40 minutes to an hour away from my family, just because it's so much cheaper to live where I do. than where we used to live, which was like 10 minutes from them. And so honestly, I have 3 dogs, and so either way, someone would be coming over, you know, to care for my dogs. But as far as plants, I mean, my mom has plants, not as much of a collection as mine, but she does have plants. My grandma has plants. I mean, everyone in my family does have plants. They're just not as big of a collection as mine. Now, I probably would not ask my grandmother, just because any household plant she gets, she kills. And so, honestly, the only reason she doesn't kill her outside plants is because it rains. And for the most part, she will sit there and put, you know, like the hose on and just let it, like a sprinkler on, and let it water. So, I don't know, that's a hard one. I mean, my collection isn't that, I mean, it's big, and so that would be the problem, but it's really not that hard to water, seeing as I have a lot of plants in Lechuza Pond, semi-hydro, and things like that. Honestly, I'd be okay with them, you know, coming in once a week to water, and then just, I would triage afterwards when we get back, but I don't really see it that being a problem. Like, we don't go anywhere. We don't go on vacation. We don't do anything like that. So I don't see it being really a problem. But that is what I would do. But here is that Hoya. So this one is about the same size around. It's just deeper. So that's all I did with this one. Let me settle the soil. Okay, that one is done. Put my little disco ball back in. Excuse me. Okay, what is next? Kind of want to clean this off a little bit here. Okay. So I guess a little bit of both. I would prepare, but I'd have someone water maybe once a week while they were here taking care of the dogs. And then I would just triage afterward. So, how do you care for your moss poles? I was just talking about moss poles. So, oh, you are bam. My moss poles, they're not too hard to care for. So I was using this squeegee bottle for a little while, but I didn't like it that much. And so I have gone back to putting, here, I'll give one of them and show you. So this one, I have a cup on the top. It's got little holes that were put into it, and so every other day I will fill this cup and just kind of let it drip down and water the pole. But that's really how I care for my moss poles. Every once in a while, if I let them dry out too much, I will just put them into the shower. And then once every other week about, I will actually water the base. And that's just because, especially with these poles that aren't filled all the way, sometimes I put too much water in here and it will actually water the soil itself. So that is what I do. This is my Colombian SP, or this is my Philodendron SP Colombian Silver, by the way, that I did put on a pole. You didn't see that just because I was taking some plant care. I had a plant care day for myself, and yeah. So I have 2 vines on here. It's doing okay. This one is unfurling a leaf, and then this was the newest leaf out of it. But yes, I have 2 vines on here. A very pretty plant. So that is how I care for my moss poles. Okay. How long have you and your partner been together? Any wedding plans? So actually, next month will be our anniversary of 7 years. We have been together 7 years next month. And it's actually funny because our anniversary is his mother's birthday. So it's a running joke that she will never forget our anniversary because it's her birthday. So any wedding plans? So actually, we are thinking of finally getting married next year in June. And we're going to maybe have it at his mom's house that's out in the country. But we're just kind of throwing ideas around right now. Not like hardcore wedding planning or anything whatsoever. It's just throwing some ideas around. But yes, more than likely we will be getting married next year. The next question is, what is your preferred method of propagating? So, my preferred method is moss. I have just started dipping my toe into stratum and perlite, but I don't know. I guess it would be perlite. I have been doing water propagations lately just because they're easy. It's really plants that, I mean, it's not that I don't care about them, it's just there's so many that if some of them rot, it's really not that big of a deal. But I do have a fail to show you. So my Monstera aurea rotted in its cup of perlite and moss. So that's sad. But yeah. I'm actually really disappointed about this. But it happens sometimes, as you know. Ah! Why were you caught? That's a plant fail. I was doing so good not making a mess. And then I made a mess. Here's to thinking I was gonna be able to make it through a repot without a freaking mess. That's disappointing. One of the strands was caught. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it was. That's okay. There's a little bit more dirt. It's fine. Stay. Okay. Let's see here. What was I talking about? Oh, propagation. That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I've been using a lot more stratum lately. Just stratum is not very budget friendly, we'll say that. It's very expensive. But I don't know. Yeah, probably still just moss. Do I want to empty this out into here or directly in my pot? I have a pot for all of my leches upon, so hang on. Okay, I have my pot. I'm just going to get rid of any of this organic matter, all the dead baby leaves that are on the top. This is not a bad root system, honestly. So this is going into the soil, so I don't really mind if there's still a little bit of pon on the roots. It's not that big of a deal to me. So this one I have had for a long time, but it just kept giving me these all white leaves, and it's just now giving me some green leaves. And so it's starting to actually survive instead of just giving me all white. So that is good. I'm going to put it in this size pot, and I'm going to use soil sorters for this. Okay, how do you get rid of plants you no longer want? I guess it really depends on the plants. I am in a couple of Facebook groups for plants, and I sell plants that way. Some of them I'll give to my little sister that I started to like plants, but for the most part, I will do it in the Facebook group. Some of them, or I mean, if some of them are like riddled with spider mites and I'm just tired of the spider mites, I'll just throw them away. And I know that's bad, but I'm not going to give someone a plant that is riddled with spider mites. And if you do, then shame on you. Just throw that sucker away. Especially if you're trying to get rid of it anyways. Like, why would you give someone a plant or even sell a plant that you know has pests? And you're like, shame on you. But if I don't throw it away, I'll put it on Facebook and have a purge that way. Or like, I just got rid of a whole bunch at the swap and shop I went to last month. So I mean, you can do that too. I'm actually thinking of like starting my, not really my own, but starting another plant swap here that's more local to me, because the last one I went to was an hour away, and I have not seen any that are like really close to me, or like closer than the one that I went to. So I'm thinking about starting a new plant swap. I don't know. I'm still doing research about it, but I'm thinking about it. Thinking about hosting one maybe. But there is that one. There is still a little bit left in here. I'm not really worried about it. I'll just pour it on top of here, honestly. You know, I don't know about this. I think this is supposed to be like a soilless mix, and so it has a lot of cocoa core. But this stuff that was here on the bottom, I feel like, I don't know, it's really more of like dusty than it is, you know, actual granules, I guess I can call them. But I don't know. We're gonna water and find out. This one in here too. Where's my water at? I made it just for these. I think I'm just gonna pour it in. I got my little jug of water. Okay, there are those three watering. They can sit there for a little while. I'm just gonna go ahead and water these two. This is something you guys never see when I repot, just because it's usually easier for me to repot or to water off screen or off camera. So it's something that I do. Alright guys, that is it for this video. We made it through all the questions, but if you decide that you have more questions for me, or if you liked this video, go ahead and put your questions down in the comments. And I mean, anything else. I like reading the comments. I always get happy when I see that I have a new comment. But that is it. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, and it helps us grow our own little community inside the plant community. I will see you guys next time.